Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
So. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Oh, wait, Muse, stay hot. Stay hot, Muse. I know you weren't thinking about it. I know.
The last thing on my mind.
Thinking about it, Muse. I know. Why would the thing we do every Wednesday at 3 and 5 be on your mind? It's not like we do it every Wednesday at 3 and 5, Muse.
It's hump day.
Look, I don't know what day it is either, all right? So
I just told you what day it is. It's hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The day where we hump.
Hump day.
The Humpty Bump. The Humpty Bump, the song.
Yeah.
We play the Humpty Bump, the song.
It's hump day.
No, you do you. It's how this life, we all continue in life.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Stop talking, Matt.
Hump day.
All right. Governor Landry back in the news.
It's hump day.
And it actually involves me directly.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
What is happening?
Hump day.
this is just what you envisioned when you got into the business, right?
What is happening?
It's hump day.
The last 3 weeks. What in the world?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I mean, I'm at an event.
Hump day.
Governor's there.
It's hump day.
Then some political guys tweeting about me.
Mike. What day is it,
Yeah,
Mike?
governor's texting me.
Hump day.
And then Lane Kiffin's dodging questions about it.
It's hump day.
What?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Can I just talk about Garrett Nussmeier being doubtful for senior day?
Hump day.
No, the starting quarterback being doubtful is actually hour 2 news.
It's hump day.
Maybe if we get to it.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Weird time.
Hump day.
Weird time.
It's hump day.
It's how we continue in life.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We hump.
Hump day.
Okay. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
And if you are having trouble there, Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can have our title sponsor every Wednesday. How appropriate. Okay. So there is a crazy report today from a gentleman, this was actually from Tuesday night, named Peter Hamby. I do not know who Peter Hamby is. His Twitter profile says, politics at Puck News, host at Snapchats, Good Luck America, CNN alum, board at Schornstein Center, Levon fan, Hoya, RVA Homer, me on Twitter. I don't know what most of that stuff is. Whatever. He's got 100,000 followers, so I would assume he has some legitimacy to him as whatever. So this gentleman tweets at this was at 9:36 p.m. Tuesday night, and I was only aware of this because I was actually recording my Locked On podcast, Locked On LSU, at the time he sent this, because Ross Dellinger saw it and sent me the tweet. Peter Hamby wrote, LSU/Lane Kiffin news. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry continues to get personally involved in the Tigers coaching hunt. At a political fundraiser in Baton Rouge tonight, Landry said he had spoken to Lane Kiffin, quote, for 2 hours, end quote, about the LSU gig. But he also joked that, at Matt Moscona, knows more about the job search than he does, per source in the room. Okay. Let me give you, he's got a lot wrong there. Let me give you my firsthand account, and Lane Kiffin actually addressed that today as well. So I'll get to that here in a second. And I will read you my text messages from Governor Landry. I will read you his and my text interaction here in a moment. So there was an event Tuesday night in Baton Rouge that was a fundraiser for the governor. I want to be very clear. I think this is important that I be transparent here. I was a +1. I was not a contributor. I was not there as a donor. I did not write a check. I do not believe journalistically that you should ever pay for information. So I was not there as a benefactor, supporter, fundraiser, donor, any of that sort of stuff. I was there as a +1, and our company, Guarantee Media, Gordy was there, thought it was a good idea for me to go because it's a room with a lot of our clients. A lot of business people in the community were there, and a lot of them are our clients here. So it was a good networking opportunity for me to be there, which is why I went. Nothing more. I did have a conversation with the governor at this event. Not really at all about the coaching search. We talked mostly about my son, Drew. He's been very kind about Drew the times we've spoken. Several of those times, Drew's been in the car. And if you don't know, I have an 11-year-old son with special needs, and he's been very kind. So it was the same thing. He works the room. He shakes hands. He talks to people. He goes up on the stage, and he spoke. And it was more than 5, but less than 10 minutes. And it's the thing that we have the greatest economy this, and we've created all these jobs and whatever. Okay, I mean, it's all the political stuff. Fine. And at one point, he deadpans, Governor Landry does. He says, all I want for Christmas is a new football coach. And he says, I don't know what it is. Matt Moscona's here. Ask him. He probably knows more about it than I do. That was the extent of the interaction. At no point did he mention Lane Kiffin. Again, these were not like prepared remarks. He did not have a script. He was not reading anything. It was a very, again, 5-7 minutes up there, maybe. And he, that was it. Did not mention Lane Kiffin. And so when I saw that tweet, I was like, I'm sorry. Am I losing my mind? Did I miss something? So I quote tweeted Peter Hamby, this is not accurate. I was at the event as a guest of a client. Landry said jokingly, paraphrasing, all I want for Christmas is a new coach. I don't know who it's going to be. Ask Matt Moscona. He knows more about it than me. And I said, no mention of speaking to Kiffin, at least not during his public remarks. I did text the governor, and I will read these text messages. I do not have any problem reading. I don't think he would have a problem with me reading them either, since he knows he's texting with a media member and did not clarify to be off the record. So I texted him last night at 10:44 p.m. My text to Governor Landry at 10:44. Sorry to bother so late. Did you say, so I'm very clear. Did you say you spoke to Lane for 2 hours? Did I miss that? I heard you joke that you wanted a new coach for Christmas and that I knew more than you. said, where did this guy come from? And I sent the tweet that Peter Hemby put out. He did not reply last night. He replied this morning at 6:37 a.m. when he said, no, I did not speak to him, Kiffin. That's not true, LOL. I said, thank you. Someone sent me that last night. Felt like I was dreaming. He said, you are, people are crazy. And then he put several laughing face emojis and one of those emojis with like the winking eye and the tongue out. So if you're wondering, breaking news. Governor Landry is an emoji user. And he did, you know what I'm talking, like the one big eye with the winking eye and the tongue out.
Yeah, that's a really good one too. He's a vet emoji user.
Good one.
Yeah,
it's a good one. Scrolling back through our previous text, only one. He has given me a 100 emoji before.
It's a good one too.
And he's given me a laughing face emoji.
You like the 100 emoji?
I do.
I'm a big fan use that a lot. Yeah, you use the 100 emoji a lot.
Well, sometimes I feel like if you just do, I do thumbs up a lot.
You do that too.
But the thumbs up, it just sometimes feels like you got to be a little more assertive with people than just the thumbs up. You know, like give them a little more, you know, approval, agreement.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, so that's the interaction. The governor said in no uncertain terms, he has not spoken to Lane Kiffin. He did not. I don't know where this report come from. He did not. I asked two other people who I spoke with last night, did I miss this? Neither of them heard him say anything of Lane Kiffin. So that guy's got it way wrong. And by the way, super lazy of him too, not to reach out to the governor's secretary, press aide, to get a statement, like, to just, that's why, man, lazy journalism bums me out, man. Like, it's just, it would have been very easy to get an answer to that instead of saying, oh, a source at the event that you weren't at and you get the whole thing wrong. Lane Kiffin, by the way, but this is where this is awkward. So Lane Kiffin on the SEC Coaches Teleconference Wednesday, our buddy Neil McCready asked him about it. Listen.
Lane, there are conflicting reports. I was going to give you a chance to set the record straight that you spoke with the governor of Louisiana here pretty recently. Did that or did that not happen?
Yeah, I wouldn't comment on that either way, so I'm not.
Why wouldn't you just say no? Why wouldn't you just say no? I mean, I get, like, by the way, every answer that he gave in this teleconference, which was cringe and awkward, as you would imagine. I mean, this has been a month now of him refusing to answer questions about taking other jobs, as it just gets more and more clear that he is going to take another job. And this was like 13 minutes of, don't let me get ahead of myself. I'll come back to that. The point is, he could have very definitively just said no, didn't. Which makes it clear, like, he is as funny and quick-witted as he is with all this troll game on Twitter and social media. Boy, he can struggle in front of a microphone. And the more this has gone on, the more I've learned about Lane Kiffin from people who know him and cover him and have for a long time. And that is really clear, like something that he does not do well. Like, he does not interact well with people. He does not like to do press conferences or media. He's not the guy that's going to go, shake hands and kiss babies and glad hand with boosters. And that may not serve him well at LSU, by the way, if he ends up taking this job. But he had an opportunity there just to say no, it didn't. So whatever. So you have an anonymously sourced report from Peter Hemby, whoever that is. And then you have a firsthand account from me and an on-the-record account from the governor saying that didn't happen. So believe what you want. Weird. Okay, it's After Further Review. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the LSU Tigers, and the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. Who dat's back at the Dome this week. Man, it's been a minute since the Saints played a home game. You can always find your officially licensed Bud Light Saints cans as well, black cans with the fleur-de-lis, and, of course, the white cans, which is a hat tip to LSU's tradition of wearing white jerseys at home. The white can with the Tiger Head logo on them, 12-ounce cans, 16-ounce aluminum bottles, or, wherever you are. Your favorite watering hole restaurant, make sure you have plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light. Drink easy with Bud Light. The great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All All right. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. By the way, that super cringe teleconference involving Lane Kiffin, I'm going to let you hear all the super cringe moments of it when we come back. Stay here.
After further review.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. They're complete employer solutions. Maybe you're a football coach and you're taking a new job and you need to hire a staff, both on the field and all your front office people and answering the phone people and all that sort of stuff. Hey, you gotta call Glow Resources. They can help you. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Complete employer solution. You see, at Glow Resources, they cast their net far and wide, their network of resources to find you the best person for whatever job it is you're trying to fill. And they work on your timeline. So check them out online at glowresources.com. Maybe you have to have someone hired by the new year. They'll help you do it. GLO, glowresources.com. It doesn't matter. They recruit nationwide. For example, they had a Baton Rouge company that was looking for an engineer. They found the employee in Florida to work on the job in California. They'll make it work no matter where you are. GLO, glowresources.com. They're complete employer solutions. Glowresources.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
I'm glad you're rolling along with us here. We always appreciate our friends over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. I often remind you, remember at Goodwood, it's 3 businesses all under one roof in that complex right there on Drusilla. It's Goodwood, which is the men's clinic. It's Unique Physique, which is the GLP-1s, the weight loss injections. And then there's Unique Aesthetics and Wellness, which is the aesthetics clinic, all the laser therapies, Botox, $8 a unit Botox. Gents, if you use Botox, great. If not, tell your lady, $8 unit Botox, everyday price at Unique Aesthetics and Wellness, all right there on Drusilla. It's another day of the Lane Kiffin saga as we're all watching what Lane Kiffin is going to do. And, as we've followed this story, I think there's a few things that as I sort of encapsulate the entirety of it that are pretty clear to me at this point. I think Lane Kiffin 6 weeks ago thought he was going to be the Florida coach. I think Lane Kiffin never in his wildest dreams anticipated that this Ole Miss team would be sitting here at 10-1, that he'd be sitting here at this point in the season or after the Egg Bowl, they finish 8-4, 9-3, whatever it might have been, and said, look, I've given it my all, and I've just I've bumped up against a ceiling, and I got to go. And people would understand that. This has been complicated by 2 factors. One is Brian Kelly getting fired and LSU opening and then pursuing Lane Kiffin. So it was no longer just Florida pursuing Lane Kiffin. It became Florida and LSU. And a lot of professional contacts, colleagues, confidants that Lane Kiffin has are steering him toward LSU instead of Florida. That's the thing that is happening. And among them, Nick Saban, Jimmy Sexton, I have no problem saying that. But I said there's 2 things. One is that LSU got in the mix. Number 2, Ole Miss is they're 10-1. The fact that he is now staring down a playoff berth complicates this wildly for Lane Kiffin. And he has not had a good answer to any of the questions that have been asked of him by anybody. Because we all know what's happening. He is pursuing other options. And I've been consistent that I don't know what Lane Kiffin is going to do. He could decide tomorrow, stay in. The opportunity to coach in the playoff and be at Ole Miss means too much to him. He could decide he's leaving Ole Miss and going to Baton Rouge. Could decide he's leaving Ole Miss, picking Florida. We'll see. But every day that passes, this gets more and more awkward. And something being awkward alone isn't reason to make a rash decision. You want to make the right decision, the best decision. I'm talking about both sides, from Ole Miss's side and from Lane Kiffin's side, for LSU as well, as they're in Florida, as they're waiting on Lane Kiffin. But it also gets to a point where you have to make a decision because it starts to complicate other factors. And Lane Kiffin on the SEC Coaches Teleconference was so awkward. Did you ever see the movie Swingers? When Jon Favreau's character, if you don't remember Swingers, or just look up the clip, where Jon Favreau's character is calling the girl and he leaves a very awkward voicemail on the answering machine. Yes, this is when there were still answering machines. Look it up, kids. And then he calls back to like clarify and then calls again. He ends up leaving her like 18 messages. Like, that was Lane Kiffin at this press conference. It was like, man, this was 13 minutes of skin crawling that. And boy, he was asked some really direct questions that he just didn't have an answer to. Like, he was asked about the Egg Bowl next week against Mississippi State. Give a listen.
Yeah, Lane, I mean, do you expect to coach next week as you're preparing for this game?
Do you know something I don't know?
I'm asking you.
Do I expect to coach next week? Why would I not expect to coach next week? I mean, I expected to coach against Florida too. So I don't even understand the question how I would not expect to coach next week. Why would I be at work?
Is there any reason you wouldn't see yourself, any situation in which you wouldn't think you'd be coaching this team moving forward beyond next week?
No, I don't. I mean, we're game planning. We just practice. I don't even understand how that would happen. So you must be missing something.
You must be missing something? Like, Lane, your wife was in Gainesville on Sunday and Baton Rouge on Monday. Like, Wilson Alexander asked Lane Kiffin point blank about his family making these trips.
Lane, what did your family learn on its trips to Gainesville and Baton Rouge that could be informative as you make a decision?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not getting on any speculation or stories of things having to do with other jobs. I've said that about 10 times, but I understand. I got to ask them.
It's not speculation. Like, there's video. There are eyewitness accounts of these people in these two towns. It's not speculative. But he won't answer it because the answer is not something he wants to say. He was asked some really direct questions. Like, play 7, please. This was about the timing of taking a new job.
Is there a possibility you could take another job before the postseason?
I'm not speaking on other jobs.
Not speaking on another job. Like, these are super direct questions. Lane, could you take a job before the postseason? I mean, every way they could ask it. When does he expect to provide clarity to Ole Miss?
When do you hope to have some clarity and provide some clarity on your future with Ole Miss and also the other parties that are seeking your services at this moment?
I mean, like I said, I'm saying the same thing for 6 years. I'm not talking about speaking on other jobs. I'm focused on this one. And I guess that's kind of spiraling off the question before, like, are you coaching in the game? Like, I don't even understand what the question is. Like, of course I'm coaching. I mean, unless you guys know something I don't, or I'm getting fired and I don't know it.
He doesn't understand what the question is? It's a very direct question. It's a very direct question. When will you talk to your boss and let him know if you're staying or leaving? I don't understand the question. What do you mean you don't understand the question? Look, my take has always been actions speak louder than words. He's got a contract extension on the table. He hasn't signed it. It tells you what you need to know. Matt Rule signed his at Nebraska. Kurt Cignetti signed his at Indiana. Mike Elko signed his at Texas A&M. Lane, if you really wanted to be at Ole Miss, you would have signed your extension. We know. We get it. The awkward part here is that He wants, with as many people as I've talked to about this, both from the LSU side, the Florida side, the Ole Miss side, coaches, admins, boosters, agents, everybody. There are some conclusions that I feel like I can accurately draw right now. If this were a calendar that worked like the NFL calendar, where Lane Kiffin could coach his Ole Miss team as deep as they went this year and then make a decision after, he would be gone from Ole Miss. He would coach the season, he would leave. But the calendar being what it is, it's made this very awkward because of the timing. He is going to have to make a decision that, as I've told you now for more than a week, that Ole Miss is not, if he leaves, they're not going to let him coach in the playoff. I've told you that for more than a week. And a lot of you pushed back on me with that initially. I think everyone understands that now. I wasn't guessing then. I'm not guessing now. They're not going to let him coach in the playoff. So he's got to decide, does he want to coach this team in the playoff and lose the opportunity to coach at Florida or LSU? Or does he miss out on the opportunity to coach in the playoff to take one of these jobs? Like that, it's not an easy answer. But he's trying to drag it along as long as he can to keep coaching his team. But ultimately, what's going to happen is Florida is going to make him decide. There's news today that now, Ole Miss is going to make him decide. There's news today that Florida, Zach Alberverdi, who was with us yesterday, reported today on Wednesday that Florida is going to interview John Summerall for its vacancy. Florida is preparing its contingencies. By the way, Ole Miss is interested in John Summerall if Lane Kiffin leaves. So Ole Miss needs an answer from Lane Kiffin. And the best information I have is that Keith Carter is going to try to get that answer from Lane Kiffin on Friday. Ole Miss is going to practice on Thursday. Then the team is off Friday, Saturday. They reconvene Sunday night before they start preparation for the Egg Bowl next Friday. And Keith Carter is going to try to get that answer this weekend. And I think they would all love for Lane to coach in the Egg Bowl because they want to beat Mississippi State. They want to win that rivalry game. They want to finish 11-1, put themselves in the playoffs in the best position possible. Because keep in mind, if Ole Miss beats Mississippi State, they're 11-1. They're in. They're hosting a first-round game. It's a major economic boom for Oxford, Mississippi. It's a major stage for the Ole Miss program. Regardless of if Kiffin's there or not, it's a great opportunity. If they lose to Mississippi State, I mean, is there a world where Ole Miss could be out of the playoff? Maybe. Is there a world where they're certainly traveling in the opening round? They miss a home game? Sure. Like, I think both sides want him to coach the Egg Bowl and win that game and then make their announcement of what's going to happen. Either he's leaving or he's staying. But I don't think this drags all the way through next week. Because every time Lane Kiffin is in front of a microphone, these are the questions that are going to be asked, and it keeps getting more and more awkward without direct answers. And on top of that, Ole Miss needs an answer because they need to know if they're moving on. LSU is going to need an answer. Florida is already starting to pursue its other options now with this report of them interviewing John Summerall. This whole thing is nearing its conclusion, and LSU has patiently waited it out, and it feels like they have outlasted Florida in this mix right now. But is Lane Kiffin going to pick LSU, or is he going to choose to stay at Ole Miss? That's something I think we're days away from getting that answer. Okay, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. We're inching closer to the holidays. Gents, Christmas time is a great time where a lot of people love to pop the question. Thinking of popping the question, that beautiful diamond engagement ring, go to Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Or maybe you just need that awesome Christmas gift for the person in your life, men and women. Go to Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. They had 10 different locations. You could shop, see a lot of their inventory there online. But man, walk in. You'll always get the Lee Michaels experience. They'll greet you with a smile, offer you something to drink, chocolates on a tray, browse, peruse, try on everything. Never any pressure to buy. They do a great job. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, y'all. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, we'll go around the SEC. Saints are back on the practice field today as they begin preparation for the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, and the Saints also released Brandon Cooks today, so I have some thoughts on that. We'll get to all of it. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness.
AFR.
We're moving our way through November. I mean, you know that. You have a calendar. But November is the number one home selling month in real estate in Baton Rouge, in this market. And the answer and the reason is pretty obvious when you say it. Because if people want to be in their new home for the new year or you want to be in your new home for the holidays, you start selling now. So don't wait. It's November the 19th. You still have time to get your home listed, sold, moved into your new place for the holidays. It can happen, but you got to act now. And you need to call Darren James. If you need to sell your home fast for the most amount of money, you need Darren James. Darren has his guaranteed sale program. Sit down with Darren, agree to a price and a deadline. If Darren doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he will have your home bought with cash or he will sell it for free. What do you have to lose? Get packing. Call Darren James. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Congratulations to our October Heart of the Game winners, junior quarterback from U High, Cooper O'Doul, and female wrestler from Walker High, Willow Dixon. Each receive a $250 gift card and custom plaque. Nominations are now open for November. Submit yours today at 1045ESPN.com. The Heart of the Game is brought to you by First American Bank and Trust.
Steve Sarkisian was asked about coaching rumors and said, quote, "I'm not going anywhere." It was interesting because Desmond Howard said in a video on social media that earlier in the day or on Monday said, quote, "Don't be surprised if that Texas job opens up at the end of the season." I'll tell you that. Do you have the Sark thing from the teleconference? Okay, please get it. So there has been some scuttle, and I know where Desmond's hearing that because that has been actually. I'm telling you, from an outsider's perspective, you look at what's going on at Texas. They were in the playoff a year ago, and this season has been obviously disappointing considering the expectations, preseason number one and everything. But I've heard a lot of scuttle that there are people around the Texas program, boosters and such, that are not happy with Sark and would want to move on and get in the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes. Now, that is, I want to be very clear. I want to be very, very clear. That is totally hearsay, rumor, nothing that I think is credible. I'm only bringing that up because I've heard that, so it's not surprising that Desmond's heard it too. And I believe he's, in those circles, far more credible. So only to say, like, that is out there. It sounds foolish to me that they would move on from Sark, but you never know. So Sark on the SEC teleconference today said, as he opened, he said, "I'd like to comment on something before I get into our team, something that has been bothering me the past few weeks. It's people reporting or insinuating there's a possibility I could leave the University of Texas. That is absolutely false and untrue. I'm not going anywhere." So that is that's what we would call, Muse, that's what we would call.
That's a denial.
That's a denial. I'm not going anywhere. That's a denial. So if Texas moves on, and by the way, I think that's what Desmond Howard was insinuating. Not that Steve Sarkisian is leaving for another job. It's more, would Texas move on considering preseason number one and how disappointing this season went for the Longhorns? Say it all the time. Consider everything. Believe nothing. I certainly believe Steve Sarkisian is not voluntarily leaving Texas. I do wonder if they lose to Texas A&M, and let's say lose badly on their home field of the Aggies. Do some antsy rich Texas people maybe get a little antsier? Something to watch. All right, it's after further review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here. Oh, by the way, we're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com, Rouse's. This feels like home. Rouse's, awesome announcement earlier this week that they've acquired 10 new stores that'll be opening up early 2026. How awesome is that, man? They continue to grow 76 stores now whenever that becomes official. And also, always love telling you about some of the great deals. Like, there's a great holiday deal alert where you can buy a ham and get a free turkey now through Thanksgiving Day. Purchase a Hormel Cure 81 ham for $2.99 a pound. Get a Butterball Grade A frozen turkey up to 12 pounds for free. Limit one per customer with a $25 in-store purchase. And yes, your ham counts toward the $25. So you want to have Thanksgiving on Rouse's, buy a ham, get a turkey at Rouse's. This feels like home. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Cue Mike D. Alabama starting center Parker Brailsford uncertain to play Saturday against Eastern Illinois. Brailsford played every snap against Oklahoma, wore a walking boot at a charity event earlier this week. Photos obtained by AL.com. You all right, bro? You all right? You all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I have two things in my...
No. Don't get upset. It's okay. It's okay. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Woosah. Anyway, all right, so hey, Mike D's whole thing. Starting center doesn't play. Team fails to cover 80% of the time. We'll keep an eye on Brailsford.
Texas A&M!
Safety Bryce Anderson is expected to redshirt, but could play for the Aggies in the postseason. So senior safety, he's expected to redshirt to preserve his final year of eligibility. But obviously, you can play in the postseason, and it doesn't affect your eligibility. So they can hold out Anderson here at the end of the season. He suffered a head injury against Notre Dame, missed some time earlier this year, so he's only played in 4 out of the 10 games, but could play at the end of the season. We'll keep an eye on that.
The Florida Gators.
Florida edge George Gums has undergone knee surgery for a meniscus tear. He's a transfer from Northern Illinois. He's been a mainstay on that defensive front during his final season here at the collegiate level. He started 9 of the 10 games so far this season. With Gums out, that leaves the Gators without a key starter along the defensive line. They are hoping, though, to get Caleb Banks back, who's played just 29 snaps this year.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
State's flipped offensive lineman Leon Noyle from Nebraska for the 2026 class. He's a 3-star offensive lineman. He's been committed since November the 19th, and he's out of Edna Carr in New Orleans. He's the number 29 player in the state.
The Missouri Tigers.
And Mizzou has flipped 3-star athlete Jaden McGregory from Louisville, committed to the Cardinals back in July. McGregory is 6'2", 195, the 25th ranked athlete in the country, the 5th best player in the state of Iowa. He's Mizzou's 22nd commit. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. If you're already on HRT, you owe it to yourself to check out Goodwood to see if you'd switch. Lowest prices, never any contracts. And remember, every 6 months when you do your blood work, they pick up that bill. They don't charge you for your blood work every 6 months. They pay for it. Have a better experience. So if you're already on HRT, check them out, yourgoodwood.com. Switch. I did about a year ago. You should too. yourgoodwood.com. Okay, quick break. We'll wrap up hour number 1 when we come back. Saints attendance report is out as they were back on the practice field today. We'll get to it next on AFR.
AFR.
Man, I had a great night last night. I mentioned was at that event, and a lot of good clients. We got to hang out with some of my friends from Rev. Man, I love telling you about Rev. If you have not yet switched your internet service to Rev for your home or your business, what are you waiting on? 70,000 homeowners, business owners in South Louisiana trust Rev. 90 years of local community service, a local call center. So when you call someone at Rev, if you're having an issue, whatever, install, you're talking to someone at a call center right here. It's not going overseas. You're not talking to a computer AI. It's local, and they're backed by an all-fiber network. Love that. They've done an amazing job. I told you they laid fiber in my neighborhood a couple of weeks ago, and process was so smooth, and they did an amazing job. I'm telling you, at Guarantee, we're Rev customers. At Parish Construction Roofing, we are Rev customers. You should be as well. Let'sRev.com. Let'sRev.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Wrapping up hour number one, we are glad to have you hanging out with us here. Let's see. The official injury report isn't out yet for the New Orleans Saints. Kellen Moore, they're off the practice field, so Kellen Moore is meeting with reporters. So forgive me, I'm trying to get the attendance. So if you're not familiar with how this works, before they put out the official injury report, what you'll see from reporters is as soon as they get off of the practice field, they can issue the attendance, and until the official injury report comes out later after practice and whenever the Saints release it. So I think the most significant news here, as Kellen Moore is meeting with reporters and some of these word is leaking out, is that Talaiese Fuaga was not at practice here on Wednesday as they're back at it. Remember, Talaiese Fuaga did not play in the Saints' most recent game, the win on the road in Carolina. And then, of course, you had the bye week. So he's had a couple of weeks now to heal, but still not at practice today. We'll see if as the week goes along, he gets closer to returning. But maybe the more significant news of the day for New Orleans is the Brandon Cooks news. If you missed it, Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football had it first earlier today. The Saints are releasing Brandon Cooks. We'll have more time later in the show. I'll give you a deeper dive on this, but it kind of makes sense. They're not releasing him for lack of productivity or anything like that. It's when they signed Brandon Cooks, the idea was that he was coming here when, remember, Derek Carr was still the quarterback. So they were legitimately trying to bolster the receiving core by adding a veteran playmaker, thinking it would make them better on the outside. So Cook signed here. Well, then, of course, Derek Carr retired, and the season's gone the way it has. And so this is they weren't able to trade him at the trade deadline. So just releasing him is an opportunity to allow him to catch on somewhere else and maybe go play for a contender in the duration of the season, because the trade deadline has already passed. This is the only way that he could, in theory, go play for another team this year. So we'll see where Brandon Cooks lands, but it's probably a good thing. That's putting good energy out in the world. If you're the New Orleans Saints, you could hang on to Brandon Cooks. I mean, contractually, you sign him to a 2-year deal, and he should be with you for this year and next. But this is an opportunity for him at the end of his career, maybe to go get an opportunity to go play for a contender instead of being sort of saddled here in New Orleans in a situation that he wasn't thinking he was signing with when he signed with New Orleans in the offseason. So, again, whenever Kellen Moore's finished, we'll hear. I know he had some thoughts today about the Brandon Cooks deal. We'll let you hear that a bit later. We'll get the full injury report. We'll get to all that coming up in just a little bit. And our buddy Mark Zinno's here in about 20 minutes from right now. Zinno does radio in Atlanta, does national ESPN radio as well. From New York, but covers all things Atlanta. So we'll talk some Falcons with Zinno again here in about 20 minutes from right now. We're brought to you by Evermore, EVA-MOR. As a matter of fact, I need a sip of Evermore. I'm a little parched. I don't know, man. I started to lose my voice a couple of weekends ago, and it's a little gravelly. Still doesn't come all the way back. Anyway, Evermore, EVA-MOR, better form of hydration. Listen, there is some nasty crud going around right now. Erica was sick over the weekend. I know Jake was sick. Hester was sick last week. It's going around. It's that time of year, hot and cold. People are getting sick. You got to make sure you stay hydrated. I mean, one surefire way to help you either protect your immune system against getting sick or recover from illness is you have to stay hydrated. Evermore is a better source of hydration. It's natural artesian water right out of a natural artesian well on the North Shore. As a matter of fact, they built the bottling plant around the well. Like when you turn into the facility, you see the well right there. They pipe it out into the facility, bottle the water. The only thing they filter out is the sediment from the ground. It's amazing. Tastes great. I challenge you, the next time you're buying a bottle of water or a case of water, just pick up Evermore. Support a great Louisiana company, by the way, and taste the difference between Evermore and whatever the other water is that you normally drink. You'll taste the difference, and you're supporting a great Louisiana company. And you're giving your family a healthier option. It's Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. It's senior day for LSU football on Saturday. Coming up after the top of the Frank Wilson was on the teleconference. They gave an update on Garrett Nussmeier, which I want to talk about here in just a quick second when we get back from SportsCenter. One other thing to watch. This is going to be interesting to see. So remember, Brian Kelly's son, Kenzel, is a senior he's a senior walk-on on this team. And all the seniors obviously will be recognized on the field Saturday. I asked Monday at the press conference off air, and again on Tuesday with Sports Information, if they're aware if Brian Kelly is going to be there. There hasn't been I don't know if there hasn't been a decision or if he just hasn't told anybody yet, but no word yet if Brian Kelly will be in Tiger Stadium Saturday for senior day for his son, Kenzel. I could understand why it's awkward and would take attention away from his son on senior day. I could also understand wanting to be there for your son on senior day. So just something to watch as we get closer to Saturday.
AFR.
Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, arco.com, arco.com, arco.com. If you own a business, you have a commercial facility, an industrial facility, what happens when the power goes out? You may say to yourself, Matt, storm season's over. I get it. Hurricane season's over. But we've had snow and ice knock out power and random pop-up storms that knock out power. What happens to your business when the power goes out? A lot of critical infrastructures cannot afford to go offline. Maybe your business can't afford to go offline. So what do you do when the power's out? Well, Arco Power Systems has the solutions. Turnkey. They can install, they can sell, service, all of it, rent. It's Arco Power Systems. Any type of business. Grocery stores, gas stations, banks, hospitals, schools, industrial facilities, municipalities, anything, universities, anything. You need industrial generator power, you need arco.com.